Imagine requesting extra support for Jimmy and being turned down like a panda asking for more bamboo. Clearly, someone's playing tricks, and Carl suspects the police chief. Their investigation shows Chief, Jimmy, and her ex-dieter attended the same tech school. These students have a strong class sense. Despite Carl's questioning, the boss goes into "I don't want to be in this drama mode." Well, great. With that kind of support, Carl and the gang have it a lot easier for their investigation. But before they could find Jimmy, a new case pops up. Carl gets the news and zooms to the scene like he's Superman. The officers on scene say seriously the victim was pushed downstairs. Before the incident, a woman's scream was heard upstairs, raising suspicions of a ghost sighting. Then Carl, detective-like, uncovers a photo of Dieter's wife cheating on his computer. Looks like the victim was helping Dieter. So Carl starts to suspect that Jimmy might be the one who offed the victim. After all, he's here to find Jimmy. But somehow, our recently fed Jimmy is nowhere to be found. Seems like the victim was also helping Dieter with his business. Carl hypothesizes that Jimmy came here to check out Dieter's current distance. He's clearly plotting revenge. The baby corpse Carl and the gang found years ago might just be Dieter's kid. After checking this scene, the police can't find the victim's phone. What a tragic disappearance. Carl realizes the worst. The phone is zooming toward Dieter's house. Cut to the scene, everything changes drastically. Cut to Jimmy hiding across from Dieter's, ready to avenge her lost child, the superhero plot. But when she finally sees Dieter again, love-struck Jimmy hesitates because love's got her in a chokehold. It was her first love. As she prepped to slip away, she ran into Carl, and the crew instantly got. Just when Carl thought all truth would be revealed, a twist appears. Jimmy gets caught. In a twist of fate, they receive a letter Jimmy wrote to Dieter 20 years ago, talk about a ghostly time travel. The letter reveals Jimmy has serious mental issues. Oh, no one will believe a crazy person's testimony if Jimmy testifies. Dieter clearly pulled some strings here, but even though Carl knows the truth, they are powerless. But Carl fought hard for the truth. No easy giving up. Even Jimmy's worthless testimony, he wants her to spill the beans. Turns out, Carl's murder case and shady dealings are orchestrated by Dieter and Ursus. Jimmy's tragedy? Dieter's fault. Once upon a time, dashing young Dieter and Jimmy went to the same tech school and before long became a couple. What a sweet burden. But one day, Dieter shockingly tells Jimmy he might fail physics. What an excuse. Dieter shifts the blame entirely to the physics teacher and hopes Jimmy will help him get rid of the teacher. What a smart kid. Jimmy has relations with the physics teacher, then falsely accuses him. She only retracts when he agrees to quit. What a brilliant plan. As for the baby corpse Carl found, it was indeed Dieter's child. 20 years ago, Jimmy suddenly tells Dieter she's pregnant. What a soap opera. But Dieter didn't seem excited at all. In his eyes, Jimmy was just a toy. That same night, Dieter's buddy suddenly spills that the siblings they've been bullying, Thomas and Wally, are home alone tonight. Talk about. So Dieter, Jimmy, and the gang disguised as manly men charge into Thomas' house, leading to a disaster. It's like a bad rewrite. This is the truth of the murder Carl's investigating. Jimmy breaks down and flees a tragic cycle. Then, she runs to a phone booth a few kilometers away and dials the police, but just as she's about to spill the truth, Dieter shows up. Talk about a nightmare. But that's not the end. Jimmy is home asleep when a few manly men break in. What a thriller playing out in her own house. Jimmy recognizes these are Dieter and friends. Finally, she escapes through a window. Lucky break. But after stumbling into the hospital covered in blood, she gets the news her baby has died inside her. Jimmy's hot, but instead of letting the doctors remove the dead fetus, she escapes and takes the baby with her, like it's a treasure she has to hide. That's the truth, but Jimmy's testimony is worthless now. To catch Dieter, Carl needs new evidence, a real detective conundrum. Just then, Jimmy tells Carl about Dieter's accomplice Wal, who collects victim memorabilia and obsession. Carl and his assistant sneak into Wal's house, finding a treasure trove of victim belongings, a real treasure map. Among them is Thomas' pendant from his murder. But before celebrating, they hear a commotion downstairs like the dead rising. So Carl and the assistant make a run for it out the back door with the evidence, but they are still too slow. Someone sneaks up behind with a tranquilizer, and when they wake up, they find themselves locked in a basement, while Dieter and Wal are plotting how to dispose of Carl and the gang without a trace. They finally settle on making it look like Carl died in a drunken driving accident. What a comedy. But Jimmy unexpectedly crushes one goon. Saving Carl and the crew, she gears up for revenge without untying them. Seeing this, Carl urges Jimmy not to act rashly. Dieter's out to her, unfathomable to others. She must revenge herself. Jimmy then turns and grabs her shotgun, and just as Dieter arrives at the basement, he finds his goons lying in a pool of blood. Their family. Suddenly, the lights go out, and with a gunshot, Dieter sees Jimmy. What a goddess of the dark. He bolts out of there, scared stiff. Meanwhile, outside, as he hears the gunshot, realizes something's wrong, grabs a shotgun, and charges toward the basement. At this point, Carl and his assistant break free. But as they seek Jimmy and Dieter, they meet Urs, sparking an intense gunfight. After a fierce scuffle, the assistant takes out Urs. The scene flips to Dieter caught in another room by Jimmy. Jimmy douses Dieter in gasoline for a fiery kiss, but Carl arrives just in time to stop her. He desperately tries to stop Jimmy's revenge, but Carl does it not for Dieter, but can't bear Jimmy's suffering. She's a victim.